Spork, or Virtual Buddha. Some of you might know me. I'm going to probably start doing a few more videos than I normally do, and you'll probably see them on my YouTube, the link underneath, as well as LinkedIn and a few other places, even Blue Sky, right? Kind of thing. Now, these videos may be technical in nature, or they may be soft skill in nature. In fact, that's actually that's the main focus of this video, is soft skills, and we'll talk about that in a second. But one of the things we have to remember is that even though we may have a very technical background, I certainly do, if we can't get that across to people, if we can't share our knowledge, then it doesn't really help us, right? So we'll be taking a look at a whole variety of things, or I'll be taking a look at a whole variety of things, whether you actually like them or not, let me know. And if you want other stuff, do let me know as well for that. So let's talk about upskilling, which is actually what the topic of this video is about, right? Because it's really about making yourself better, right? We always think of upgrading computer. Sure, why not? But software updates shouldn't be just for computers, really. You yourself will probably need some type of update on your skills, and sometimes that isn't always technical. We often think of that when we think of IT and computers. We look at those types of things. Now, before we get into sort of resources and all of that fun stuff, let's take a look at some of the facts, right? The World Economic Forum says that about 44% of all workers' skills will be disrupted in the next 5 years. I can pretty much lay all of that at the feet of AI. That's a whole different discussion that we'll have in another video. But that does mean that jobs will change. Now, does that mean that you might lose your job? Yeah, but it does also mean that there may be new jobs. In fact, in that same study, they estimated that something along the lines of 95 million new jobs will be created because of AI. AI itself is in its infancy and hallucinates a lot still, but it will probably change or be disruptive in the workforce, which is to be expected. In addition, 6 in 10 employees will require some training before 2027. Well, that's a lot of people, right? That means that we need to have some type of learning program for employees, or even for those that are not employed within it. Now, when we look at what are employees actually interested in, right? A lot of them tend to do it around what their careers are, right? So computers and math, business, financial, management, those are the top 3. And there's certainly a long list of fields that sort of fit under that. But what's often missing is the soft skills stuff. When we look at what the World Economic Forum has provided for us, right, what they consider to be skills that are increasing in demand, right, the top 5 are creative thinking, analytical thinking, technological literacy, curiosity and lifelong learning, and then resilience, flexibility, and agility. AI itself doesn't even make it in the top 5, right? Now, those top 5 are soft skills. Those are things that you can learn to do within the environment. So why do we want to do this? Well, if you're employed, the biggest reason is, of course, to keep your job, but also to keep up with changes. And particularly in the tech industry or IT industry, that's one of the biggest reasons. You actually have to be constantly learning, whether it's watching little shorts on YouTube, whether it's formal training, whatever it is. You actually have to be constantly learning within the environment. And a lot of that is not just to keep up for your job itself, to be able to do the day-to-day stuff, but it's also for career growth, because of course you don't want to be just sitting there pressing the same button every day, like, right? We want to go beyond those types of things. We want to have more opportunities, more growth, etc. And also from an organizational point of view, it also means that the workforce becomes more adaptable. So as changes occur in technology, the workforce can adjust to those changes. That's important. Now, from a job seeker's perspective, so someone like myself now, right? To get a job is probably number 1. Yes, I would like to be employed again. Sure, that's really one of the big things, and it makes you more marketable to employers. But it also keeps you relevant, right? Because if you don't do any upskilling when you're not working, then you're missing out on a chance for possible growth. And it may not be in the exact same field that you did before, right? One of the big things about, going from one job to another is that you're closing one door and you're opening up a whole bunch of potential doors, right? And being able to see what else is out there. And so what you might have been doing for the last, 2, 3, 5, 10 or more years may be a good foundation for something else, right? And so upskilling can open up those possibilities. Now, the World Economic Forum, as I mentioned, does have a great study. This chart will actually show you what skills are on the rise, and the top 5 are the ones I've highlighted at the very top. So really sort of impressive in that regard. Now, where can I go to get upskilled? Well, there's a whole variety of resources. Not all of us have big budgets for that. You can do something as simple as going to YouTube or other free video sources. Believe it or not, YouTube, TikTok, etc. And it's not just for, technical skills. It could be for almost any skill. The big key is how you do your search, right? So if you just search for one word, that's probably not going to get it. But if I do a search for a specific skill, how do I do X in Y, right? That can even give you that sort of micro learning, as it's often called. These are usually short videos of 5 minutes or less. Quick look at how to do something. Now, if you're like some people, myself included, that prefer more formal training, you can go to actual online training places such as Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, Skillshare, Udemy, etc. Those are all great places. Now, they do come with a cost, although some of their stuff might be free. But it can be a good place to sort of upskill and do things that you might not have done before. The other thing is find a mentor. Somebody that you know that works in your field. It could be a colleague, it could be a friend, someone that you trust that you can talk to. And remember, when it comes to upskilling, it's not just about your actual technical day-to-day stuff, but also what soft skills can help you improve yourself, whether it's on your job or whether it's for job searching. Now, there are more traditional ones that are out there. And I remember these from way back the last time I looked for work, which was back in the 90s, I think. It was a long time ago. Back then, you'd often go to your local business association or even the local library. Believe it or not, these resources are still there. And many times the resources they offer are free. Even sometimes they might even do a lunch and learn where they actually provide snacks for lunch. Hey, free food. Never say no to free food. But it can be a great place to learn a new skill, but also can be a great place to also network, and it can open up opportunities you might not have seen elsewhere. And last but not least, along the lines of a more traditional learning is post-secondary institutions, right? A lot of these are offering what are called micro-certificates. So it's a quick, say, 2 or 3 month course that deals with a specific skill, very similar to what you might see with Coursera or similar training places. But with these, quite often they're done actually at the university. So if you're more traditional, what I might call brick and mortar learning, right, where you do it in person, that can be a way to go. The other thing, and particularly from a technology perspective, check to see if your favorite technology, if that company provides what are often referred to as hands-on labs or even simulations that can show you how to do things in that particular environment. That can sometimes be helpful so that you can actually learn things. So, what did we learn? Well, we learned that upskilling is really the way to go. Whether you're currently employed or whether you're looking for a new job, you definitely should be constantly upskilling. And remember, it's always a great thing to be a lifelong learner. I'll see you next time.